Welcome to this bite-sized video for the Digital Support Services T-Level, where we'll explore Task 4 for the Cybersecurity Employer Set project. The Employer Set project consists of a series of tasks designed to assess the 5 assessment objectives shown. This skills assessment is set and marked by NCFE and is conducted during a 2-week assessment window, which will be available during the summer and autumn terms. The tasks are designed to replicate the real-life industry experience. To help achieve this, we use employer and industry experts when developing the ESP. Now, this video will focus on Task 4, where students will put a post-project review together, and this task will be assessing assessment objectives 2, 4, and 5, with AO4 focusing on the communication and use of English and math skills. Now, Task 4 is the final task to be completed by students within the second assessment week. This provider scheduled session will last 3 hours 30 minutes, with a 15-minute supervised rest break also permitted. If students have any access arrangements or reasonable adjustments, such as additional time for assessments, then you should apply that internally and increase the task time by the relevant amount. The assessment material will only be available and accessible to students during the supervised session. Please take into account secure storage areas for students' evidence. Storage areas can be populated with copies of students' previous ESP evidence in advance to support their evaluation, except for the audio recording, which students won't have access to. Now, Task 4 is an evaluation worth 12 marks in total, but the use of English is marked holistically with its own marking scheme. So the examiners will award a maximum of 4 marks for English skills, but it's based on their performance across tasks 2, 3, and 4. And those marks are distributed over 2 activities. The first task is a sample satisfaction survey worth 6 marks. It should be professionally formatted to the intended audience and include a range of questions to check ease of use, network security, and other areas related to the brief. The post-project review is assigned the remaining 6 marks. Students will need to consider their own performance on each task, explaining the actions they took, what worked well, and what could be changed, and how that change could have impacted on their performance. Adopting a reflective cycle such as a GIBS might also prove useful for students. And as always, it's extremely important the reviewers make in reference to the brief to ensure their evidence is relevant to the scenario and context provided. For the satisfaction survey, including a purpose can be useful to ensure students are focused on the brief, which can be mostly copied and pasted from the brief. And then who is receiving the survey and what information would be useful to know about that individual, such as which department they work in, as different business areas might face their own challenges. And considering the audience is useful when composing the questions and using suitable language, terminology, and contextualized examples as appropriate. And students should consider the qualitative and quantitative information that will be useful to obtain and choosing the suitable question type to gain that insight, such as multiple choice questions and whether they want users to choose one option or multiple options, or a more simple direct questions where users might decide if an aspect is applicable to them or not, for example, such as using certain applications or accessing material, or a rating system, which as a slide scale or star rating, or even a rank ordering system where users select or prioritize a certain option. And the use of open-ended or closed-ended questions to gather feedback on the solution. For the project reviews, much like the survey, the inclusion of a purpose can help to ensure it's relevant to the brief. The audience will need to be considered. The brief will specifically either be a technical or non-technical audience, so students need to consider technical terms and language used for the correct audience. And adopting one of the reflective cycles from their learning can aid with the self-evaluation. Students could separate their review document into headings appropriate for the evaluation model adopted, but ensure they mention the key issues in the network security. Then include their identified solution, security concerns, and mitigations used throughout the project. And an evaluation of their own performance, including areas that could be developed or improved in future projects, and how that change would have affected the task outcome. We hope you found this useful and have a better understanding of Task 4, and do see our other bite-sized videos that form part of this Employer Set project series. Thank you.